My name is Sarah. Standing on the stone terrace of my vineyard estate, the evening air filled with the scent of fermenting grapes and dry grass, I can't help but reflect on the past. The vines are heavy with Cabernet Sauvignon clusters, ready for harvest, and my vineyard manager reported a 23% yield increase over last year. The estate's value has appreciated to $4.7 million, and I have no intention of selling. I've installed a top-notch security system, and my college roommate, Lisa, who runs compliance at the largest title company here, sends me quarterly updates stating there's no suspicious activity. My phone has blocked numbers for my mom, dad, my sister Lily, and her husband Tom. The restraining order has been extended twice and is now permanent. 6 months ago, my life took a turn that I could never have imagined. It was a Sunday dinner. I sat at the far end of the table, my fork halfway to my mouth, watching Lily swipe through the listing photos on her phone. Those were pictures of my vineyard estate, a property I'd bought 10 years ago. My dad, a strict and old-fashioned man who always believed in traditional business models, had scoffed at me back then, saying, "Wine business? You'll end up penniless." Lily, with an air of self-importance, showed the photos to my mom, a woman who always favored Lily because she worked in my dad's struggling law firm. "3 qualified buyers already," Lily repeated. "Tom says we could have a bidding war by Wednesday. A couple from Los Angeles saw the photos and wants to tour tomorrow morning." Mom's eyes were full of approval as she squeezed Lily's hand and said, "Finally, you're getting what you should have. You've supported this family for so long while your sister was off doing who knows what." Just then my phone buzzed. It was Lisa. "Sarah, emergency. Someone's trying to close on your vineyard. They're forging your signature." I set my fork down quietly, the only sound in the suddenly tense room. Lily continued, "The inspections are on Thursday at 2 p.m. Tom already has the key copied. No need to bother Sarah about it." Tom raised his glass to Lily, saying it was for finally getting the capital injection the family business needed. I excused myself to the bathroom and called Lisa back. Her voice was serious. "The sale price is $4.2 million, and the seller's signature is dated last Monday, but the notary stamp number doesn't match our database. Also, I had lunch with you last Monday when you were in San Diego for a wine seminar. Your phone's location data can prove you weren't here to sign the deed." I asked about the selling agent, and she said it was Tom. "How did they forge the quick claim deed filed 3 weeks ago?" "Someone paid a high express processing fee to skip the verification. It almost worked, but Lisa's company has strict protocols for properties over $3 million, and she personally reviews the signatures. She had frozen the escrow account, secured the buyer's $420,000 deposit, and was filing a fraud report. She also told me to call the police." When I returned to the dining room, Lily was showing Dad detailed market analyses. It was clearly a well-planned scheme. I picked up my water glass and asked, "When did you decide to do this?" The table went silent. Lily looked up, feigning confusion. "Do what?" "Forge the deed to your property." Mom's fork dropped, Dad's hand froze reaching for the wine, and Tom quickly looked away. Lily tried to play the victim, saying it was a family decision and that I was just being dramatic. "That property is wasted on you. You're always traveling for your little wine business," she said. But my little wine business had generated $350,000 in revenue last year, and the estate's value had increased by 50% since I bought it. And I was in San Diego when I was supposed to have signed the deed. Lily then doubled down, accusing me of being jealous of her success in saving the family business while I selfishly hoarded my assets. She talked about the sacrifices she'd made working for Dad's firm, which had been struggling for the past 7 years. I calmly said, "The escrow officer is Lisa. She called me an hour ago. She's frozen the account and is filing fraud reports. And I'm calling the police when I leave." Tom stood up so fast his chair fell back. Dad tried to play the reasonable one, saying it was a misunderstanding and that Lily was just trying to help save the family business. But I knew it was all a ruse. My dad's firm had failed to adapt to the changing market, yet they always blamed external factors. After that dinner, I created an emotional ledger. It recorded all the times my family had undermined my efforts. For example, at my 30th birthday, my gift of a fine wine set from my vineyard was barely acknowledged compared to Lily's expensive jewelry. It cost me the belief that my work was truly valued. I then started a meticulous process to fight back. I spent a morning at the county recorder's office, collecting evidence of the forged deed. The notary stamp belonged to Tom's wife, whose notary license had expired. I backed up all the data and organized the documents. I met with a real estate attorney, Mr.
Smith.
He said it was an obvious case of fraud and that we could file criminal charges, pursue civil damages, and get a restraining order. We submitted a criminal complaint to the district attorney's office. The DA's fraud division expedited the review because the property theft was over $1 million. Detectives visited Lily's home and collected damning evidence, including text messages between Lily and Tom planning the forgery. Lily's attorney tried to defend her by saying I'd given verbal permission, that she'd acted in good faith for the family business, and that my absence from the property implied abandonment. But Mr. Smith easily refuted those claims. At the arraignment, the judge, seeing all the evidence, including the signature analysis and my alibi, set bail for Lily at $260,000 and for Tom at $160,000. They were both taken away. I filed a civil lawsuit seeking $2 million in damages. The DA offered Lily a plea deal. Plead guilty to felony forgery, serve 20 months with a possibility of parole after 10, pay $180,000 in restitution, and testify against Tom. She accepted. Tom went to trial, was convicted on all counts, and received 4.5 years in prison. Lily's appeal, citing family pressure and financial desperation, was denied. The appellate court noted that financial hardship doesn't excuse deliberate fraud. The consequences were far-reaching. Lily served 10 months before parole, and Tom served 2.5 years before being released to a halfway house. Tom lost his real estate license permanently, and his wife lost her notary license and paid a fine. Dad's law firm collapsed after several major clients left due to the scandal. Mom and Dad moved to a small apartment in a less expensive area, and Lily and Tom moved out of town. I look at the valley from this terrace, knowing that I've built and protected what's mine. I'll never share it with those who thought they deserved my success more than I did. The harvest begins tomorrow, and it looks to be an excellent season.